Hello everybody, this is Gregory with Permanent Weight Loss Made Easy, where there should be no hesitancy in your weight loss and in your weight maintenance. Today we're going to talk about how food, along with drink, and pretty much everything on this planet will never satisfy you. Now before we begin, if you need help with weight loss, contact me through the link in the episode notes. I might be able to help you. So look, this might be kind of an existential video, but we are born, of course, with appetites. You think of Maslow's hierarchy of needs, the base level needs. So hunger, thirst, sex drive, and whatnot. And I think we live now, and I would argue, a post-Christian world, maybe an anti-Christian worldview, especially in America and in the West, where the idea in the past when we were in a Christian worldview was we had to control our appetites. There used to be a word that we would use pretty common called temperance. In the Catholic world, it's one of the cardinal virtues along with prudence and justice and other things. But temperance is controlling our appetites. We have appetites largely because of the fall of Adam and Eve, where we can succumb to too much of these appetites. It's called concupiscence. In temperance, you used to hear like the pro-temperance movement. So back like 100 years ago when they were trying to pass legislation to get men to stop drinking alcohol, you would see a lot of women be part of these temperance leagues because sadly a lot of them were getting beat the crap out of when their husbands would come home drunk or whatever. So temperance is something that we need to work on. You think of moderation, think of porridge, not too hot, not too cold, just right. So I'm not saying that we should not eat or we should not drink or we should not do anything, but it's got to be in moderation. But we live now in a time where there really is no moderation, and temperance is not really lauded as a virtue like it used to be. It was taught as a virtue, like you need to control your appetites. And today it's more of the world of instant gratification and do what feels right, all this kind of moral relativism that's pushed by the cultural Marxists, that if it feels good, do it. So there's this idea that we shouldn't see anything or call anything a vice or call anything that's bad for us. Like for example, I'd say obesity is going to shorten your life expectancy. That can be perceived as hate speech by the body positive movement. Or if we know that excessive alcohol drinking is a class 1 carcinogen, cancer causer, right? But now you're shaming the alcoholics. So we live in this world now where everything that comes out of our mouth can be perceived by some grieved group as hate speech. And so ultimately none of these people are getting help. That's why I hate the body positive movement, because you're ultimately not helping these people. They're just staying overweight or getting even more overweight. But ultimately we need to realize that the large majority of obese people, as I've pushed as the central message here, have a disordered relationship with food. And I think some of it is we live in a very hedonistic time, but also a nihilistic time. Now, life has no meaning. And I think this is a common thing that you see once you push away religion, then you're like, or believe in the afterlife, then you're like, well, why am I here? I'm here, I guess, this is my only existence. And then after that's annihilation, why don't I live it up? Why don't I just delve into hedonism? And hedonism is this, the pursuit of pleasure. And when we think of hedonism, I think lots of times we think of like sex, maybe drugs, maybe gambling. But part of hedonism is going to be gluttony and drinking too much. And ultimately, what all people realize at a certain point is food won't fill that void. Alcohol won't fill that void. We are animals. So yes, we are going to feel hunger pangs. And then we eat. But nothing we eat, no matter how good that ice cream is or that burger or whatever it is, even something healthy that you really love, like I love eating high percentage dark chocolate, ultimately I'm going to get hungry again, right? Inevitably. You get thirsty again, right? You get tired, you get sleep, right? It's all these things. None of these things on this planet are going to give us true satisfaction. And I think we live in a world now where that message really isn't taught anymore, because that was a very Christian message, that you turn to the higher power. Because the higher power is what's going to give you true meaning and satisfaction. We used to teach in the Catholic world, what's the meaning of life? And every kid was taught this, to know God, to love God, and to serve God. And so that kind of was like imbued in you, so you knew that our life had a greater purpose. It was to love God, but also to serve God, to be good to the common man. But as we leave the Christian world, now it's, well, I just have appetites. And the message we get from television, social media, everywhere is indulge in your appetites. And so we get this message that eat it up, drink it up, but ultimately these are empty, right? None of these things make you feel happy. You can certainly have momentary bliss when you're eating an amazing pumpkin pie or a split pea soup or whatever you like, but ultimately that pleasure goes away and then you're hungry again. So we need to shift this paradigm, and that anything on this planet is going to give us true happiness. It won't. Only being with God will give us true happiness, as we call it the beatific vision, that being in the presence of God. And I would say the closest on earth would be like being around your children, right? Just enjoying these interactions with other humans, not being on computers all the time, not being detached, not interacting with humans. But certainly food won't make you happy. Despite what McDonald's does and all these companies, right? They want to tie a message to their food. Happy Meal, right? It works at a very young age. So you think, oh, Happy Meal. Or you look at Snickers, they used to have fun size, right? So if you eat it, you'll have fun. Think of all the advertising, right? The advertising is no matter what it is, for food or drink or anything, you're kind of a loser until you eat their product, and the music changes, and then that person who's in the commercial is surrounded by another bunch of people and they're all hanging out. So the message you get is, if I buy this product, I will be like these people, right? We're being manipulated all the time, and realize that food won't make you happy. Nothing will make you happy. That new sports car you get, you might like it for a little while, but it's not going to make you happy. Nothing will bring you true happiness aside from God. So we need to realign ourselves and have temperance toward food, toward drink, toward everything in our life, and have this great balance and recalibrate everything to God. Guys, post in the comments. I'd like to hear from you. Until next time, take care and God bless.